The light from the star died 65 million years ago. We see a ghost. Every single photon striking your eye right now is a museum artifact, a lie the universe tells itself to maintain the illusion of continuity. We live in history, perpetually late to our own present. We are already dead. We just haven't received the memo yet. Think about that for a second. We've built satellites, we've perfected fiber optics, we've networked the entire globe in what we fondly call real time. Yet every urgent signal we send, a plea for help, a warning of cosmic catastrophe, a crucial discovery, travels at the pathetic pace of 186,000 miles per second. That number feels immense. It is not. It's molasses, a cosmic speed limit imposed specifically to ensure our isolation, guaranteeing that we are trapped here, spinning slowly on this beautiful doomed marble. Here is the chilling, unvarnished truth. The speed of light is fundamentally too slow to save us from anything. It is slow enough to render the galaxy vast and slow enough to make interstellar travel a joke. Yet it is fast enough to give us the destructive power of the atomic bomb. This is the ultimate cosmic irony. Our technological advancement, which we fetishize as our great savior, is actually the lock on our cage. We built complex systems, global supply chains, digital currencies, cities housing billions, based on the foundational lie that communication is instantaneous and that we have time to react. We have optimized comfort and maximized dependence, forgetting the ironclad laws of physics that render any true system-level escape impossible. This self-made complexity is the modern trap. We confuse local speed, the speed of our fiber optic connection to the stock market, with universal speed, and the catastrophic difference is lethal. The physics doesn't care about your quarterly earnings report. It doesn't care about the political chaos you are currently watching on your screen. It cares only about distance, time, and the cruel reality that c, the speed of light, is fundamentally too slow to matter when the stakes are existential. If you prefer the painful clarity of reality over the warm, fuzzy blanket of comforting science fiction, if you crave the inner knowledge of how the universe actually works, then you understand why this conversation needs to continue and why you belong here. Forget the romantic notions of finding other life, of receiving a signal that offers advanced technological knowledge. That signal might have been broadcast when humanity was still chipping flint. We simply received the static echo long after the original civilization turned to dust. The light from Andromeda, our closest galactic neighbor, takes 2.5 million years to reach us. 2.5 million years. What are we seeing? A snapshot of their ancient past? A history book written in photons. And if they are looking back at us right now, they are seeing Homo erectus wandering the African savanna. We are to them potential. We are not real. We are a slow-motion prediction playing out over millennia, and that prediction is already halfway to inevitable collapse. This isn't just an abstract astronomical problem. This is the core mechanism of our coming doom. If a civilization-ending event, say a powerful gamma-ray burst, or a truly hostile world-ending swarm, were heading toward us from just 100 light-years away, we would have exactly 100 years of warning. Sounds okay? It's a death sentence. To mobilize the global resources necessary to survive that kind of threat, to invent and construct a ship capable of interstellar evacuation, 100 years is nothing. It is a terrifyingly short window of time. Humanity has proven, time and time again, that we cannot even agree on carbon emissions within a century, let alone collaborate perfectly to overcome a physical constraint rooted in the very fabric of space-time. Our internal chaos ensures the time provided by light-speed causality is wasted. We cannot communicate with salvation faster than the threat arrives. We cannot build lifeboats faster than the darkness spreads. We cannot even see the danger until it is already decades, sometimes centuries, too close. You are looking up at a sky full of targets, not guardians. Every bright dot is a timer. Every flicker is a reminder that the moment you realize you need help, that plea for help is immediately ancient history, traveling at a velocity insufficient to bridge the gap between here and survival. The universe is not waiting for us to catch up. We are marooned not by distance, but by the pathetic speed of the messenger itself. We have placed all our faith in rockets and reactors, yet we ignored the most fundamental barrier of all, the sheer brutal fact that nothing is fast enough. Forget the black holes. Forget the cosmic rays. Those killers are polite. They send an RSVP a century out. Our true efficient executioner is internal. It is the instantaneous human impulse toward division. It is the panic buying of toilet paper scaled up to planetary survival, played out against the backdrop of a cosmic event horizon. This is why the universe appears silent, not because it is empty, but because every advanced civilization encounters the same choke point. You cannot cross the vastness until you have mastered the self. We have failed the earliest, simplest test. We still wage war over patches of dirt, over ancient stories, over arbitrary lines drawn on maps that will be vaporized the moment the real threat arrives. We are still children playing with matches in a bunker full of gasoline. The cosmic physics merely dictates a maximum warning time, but our internal chaos ensures the minimum possible response time. 0. We wait until the last possible second, and then we waste it arguing about who gets the first seat on the escape pod. You crave the lie. You want to believe there's a Starfleet coming to save us, or that some ancient, benevolent race is merely waiting for us to mature. Stop it. Look at the data. If this uncompromising clarity, this brutal, honest assessment of the physics and the politics of our situation, is something you need if you value the cold, hard reality over the comforting fairy tale, then you already know what to do. You belong with those who refuse the lie. This failure mechanism is precisely why the Fermi paradox is the most terrifying silence in history. Silence reigns. It has to. Because the only signal powerful enough to defeat the noise of the cosmos is one that demands an answer, and that answer takes millennia to arrive. By the time ET finally radios back with the coordinates to the galaxy's safe house, our sun will have swallowed Mercury. That is the timeline we are working with. Now, look at Earth's current technology. Our satellites, our deep space probes, they are relics the moment they pass the moon. Voyager 1, the farthest human object, travels at roughly 38,000 miles per hour. Pitiful, absolutely pathetic when scaled against the 5.9 trillion miles in a single light year. If Voyager 1 were aimed directly at Proxima Centauri, our nearest stellar neighbor, it would arrive in about 73,000 years. 73,000 years. That is longer than recorded human civilization. We are not traveling into the cosmos. We are merely dropping litter at a geological pace. We have built a prison of slow motion around ourselves. We celebrate every tiny mile per hour gained in reaction mass. Yet we ignore the existential reality. We will never survive by incrementally improving the obsolete. We need a singularity. We need a fundamental break from Newtonian physics. We need something that tears a hole in the fabric of space-time, or we die here. And worse, we know the stakes, yet we spend our capital-building cruise missiles instead of warp drives. This channel doesn't traffic in false hope. It traffics in mechanics. We dissect the world as it is, not as we wish it were. If you find yourself nodding right now, if you find this necessary, then welcome to the few who refuse the comfort of ignorance. This is your home now. The horrifying implication of light speed delay is that the very act of proving interstellar travel is possible creates a scenario where the initial travelers are functionally extinct to their homeworld. Think about the Starship Enterprise leaving Earth. The crew waves goodbye. Now imagine they achieve a constant, impossible speed, just shy of C. They travel 10 light years, explore a new world, and send a postcard back home. That message takes 10 years to arrive. 10? The loved ones they left behind are 10 years older. But the reply? It takes another 10 years. So, a simple conversational loop takes 20 years. A single exchange spans a generation. If the Enterprise crew decides to come back, and we're talking a 20-year journey at near light speed, they return to an Earth 40 years older than the one they left, and 40 years they themselves did not experience because of time dilation. They are ghosts. They are historical artifacts walking among the descendants. This isn't exploration. This is existential sacrifice dressed up as adventure. We have yet to wrestle with the moral reality that the colonization of space is intrinsically the death of connection. You choose the star, you abandon your birthright. There is no middle ground. And you sitting there watching this on a screen, powered by the very civilization you refuse to fix, you are the crucial weak point. Your complacency is faster than any intergalactic menace. It gets here instantly. The speed of light is not a constant, it is a cage. We hate the constant. We crave the shortcut. Look at the science fiction. It's a drug. Warp engines, hyperspace jumps. It's all a comforting lie we tell ourselves to avoid the truly painful math. If the universe mandates sacrifice, we simply rewrite the laws of physics in a screenplay. We treat the speed of light as a boundary to be ignored, not a foundational truth to be obeyed. This is why the Alcubierre drive is our secular prayer. We whisper its name like it's salvation. It's the engineering equivalent of believing in miracles. The idea for those who skip the physics classes is breathtakingly elegant. You don't move through space. You contract space in front of you and expand it behind you. You cheat the system not by accelerating locally past c, which is impossible, but by manipulating the geometry of the entire cosmos around your vessel. You surf the universe. Ingenious, but the cost? Forget fuel tanks. You need negative energy density. You need exotic matter. You need materials that violate every known principle of normal existence. Masses that are less than zero. We are talking about sucking all the energy out of a chunk of space-time, using it as a buffer, then throwing it away just so your ship can move 1,000 kilometers. That energy requirement is astronomical. Worse than astronomical, it's laughably impossible with current energy production. Jupiter's entire binding energy barely gets you a meter of usable warp bubble. It's a cruel joke played by the universe, a magnificent theoretical solution that demands the collapse of solar systems just to function. You must understand this distinction. The speed of light is not a wall you climb over, it is the ground you stand on. Everything we know, everything electrical, everything gravitational is tethered to this rate. To warp spacetime is to ask reality to temporarily forget its own rules for our convenience. We chase this infinitely difficult solution, this gravitational magic, because facing the 40-year delay is too humiliating. We prefer the comfortable dream of instantly popping up on Planet X rather than accepting the generational death of connection. We would rather drain the energy of a star just to avoid feeling lonely. This is the human condition in microcosm, prioritizing the infinitely distant, beautiful impossibility over the tangible, solvable tragedy right here. We stare at Proxima Centauri instead of fixing the infrastructure beneath our feet. It is moral cowardice disguised as ambition. Look closely at our priorities. Why the obsession with the theoretical cheat code? It is profoundly psychological. We don't want to work within limits. We want the instant gratification, the cosmic express lane. The speed of light is a profound moral test because it forces fundamental trade-offs. It demands patience. It requires acceptance of loss. And what do? We write equations that demand we violate physics just to save a few decades of travel time? We are spoiled, entitled children raging against the natural order, believing that our desire supersedes mechanical reality. This entitlement, this refusal to accept the physics of existence, is the real existential threat to our long-term survival. We waste decades debating the metaphysics of FTL drives when we still haven't figured out how to sustainably feed 7 billion people on this spinning rock. The technological problem isn't the speed of light, it's the speed of our evolution. Our bodies are stuck in the 21st century, but our minds remain in the Pleistocene, scrambling for the biggest stick. Think about the time travelers from the opening segment again, those ghosts who returned 40 years late. They are the honest price tag of escape, and yet, we dedicate our best minds to erasing that price tag entirely, rather than accepting it and building the infrastructure to manage the separation. The greatest failure in human history won't be a lack of technology. It will be a lack of emotional maturity to handle the consequences of the technology we already possess. We have the rockets, conceptually. We lack the wisdom. We have the equations for massive energy use. We lack the moral compass to prioritize that energy use correctly. We keep thinking bigger engines fix emotional problems. They don't. You can't outrun grief at 99% the speed of light. You just delay the phone call for 40 years. That silence, that terrible, irreversible silence, is the verdict on our interstellar dreams. We are trapped not by the universe, but by the relentless, crushing logic of physics. This cage is real. The bars are made of E and MC2. The true velocity limit isn't light speed. It's the speed of grief. You cannot download the future. You cannot shortcut consequences. This obsession with interstellar travel, this relentless search for a way out, is nothing more than a desperate psychological dodge. We see the limitations of our home planet: political inertia, environmental collapse, the slow, agonizing decline of the human project. And instead of fixing the fundamentals, we demand a mechanical escape hatch. We tell ourselves we need to colonize Mars because we are noble explorers. That is a lie. We need to colonize Mars because we cannot stand the idea of being trapped here, forced to live within the boundaries we created. Look closer at the narrative. Every story about transcending the speed of light is a fantasy about erasing trade-offs. It's about having your cake, eating it, and arriving back home for dinner, 40 years too soon. But the universe doesn't operate on credit. It demands immediate payment for every energy expenditure and every movement through space-time. The reality, the harsh, unavoidable truth, is that E must MC2 is not just an equation. It is a profound moral law. It enforces connection. It demands sacrifice. It dictates that if you choose distance, you choose loss. If you choose speed, you choose separation. The greatest prison humanity ever built was not the speed of light. It was the total environment of comfort we designed right here on Earth, the digital fortress that shields us from patience. We have spent 2 decades engineering a world where waiting is a form of violence. We demand instant information, instant connection, instant gratification. Our nervous systems are now allergic to delay. Relativity, then, is the ultimate inconvenience, the scientific embodiment of the word no. And we, the spoiled inhabitants of the 21st century, rage against that single syllable. Here is the verdict. We will not reach the stars until we learn to sit still on this one. We are trapped by our own entitlement. The technology exists to build massive, slow ships, generational arcs that embrace the loss of 400 years for the sake of survival. We reject them. We call them failures. We declare that if we cannot warp, we cannot go. We refuse the only viable solution because it requires us to shed our temporal ego, to accept that the ultimate goal is not our arrival, but the arrival of our great-great-grandchildren. The moment we prioritize our own timeline over the survival of the species, we prove ourselves unworthy of interstellar travel. This is the cold physics of emotional maturity. We confuse complexity for progress. We keep searching for the mathematical loophole, the cosmic cheat code, because accepting the speed of light means accepting responsibility for what we leave behind. The bars are not made of plasma or gravity. They are made of commitment. We are not failing at physics. We are failing at love. We are failing at patience. We are failing at the simple, terrifying realization that the perfect speed for human life is the speed at which we walk, talk, and touch the people we cherish. The speed of light is too fast for connection. It guarantees isolation. It guarantees silence. And that silence, that cosmic emptiness, is our own choice. We don't need faster engines. We need better reasons to stay. The universe is telling us exactly how fast we are allowed to go. Not because it wants to restrict us, but because it is trying to keep us together. That instantaneous universe we crave? It's a lie. We think the cosmos owes us a shortcut, a wormhole, some glittering escape clause that cancels out the hard calculus of distance. It does not. The ultimate crushing irony is that the greatest failure of human engineering isn't the fission engine. It's the impatient, entitled soul. Our gadgets promised us ubiquity, instant access, absolute control. Our physics demands absolute sacrifice. We stare into the vacuum and demand to arrive now. We dismiss the slow route, the generational arc, the 4-century commitment as primitive. Cowards. We are trapped not by the speed limit of light, but by the pathetic blinkered timeline of a single human lifespan. The universe offers immortality through legacy, and we spit on it because we won't be there for the ribbon cutting. That refusal is the scientific proof of our unworthiness. You want to know the true velocity that guarantees mission failure? It's the speed of technological expectation, that blinding acceleration into comfort that convinces us we never have to truly work or wait again. We are not just failing at interstellar travel, we are failing the test of duration. We built our cage not out of steel, but out of convenience, and we locked ourselves in with the golden key of the immediate dopamine hit. The final terrifying realization is that relativity wasn't designed to stop us from leaving Earth. It was designed to force us to choose what we truly value, the species or the self, the journey or the fleeting self-centered moment of arrival. The infinite night outside our window demands an infinite patience we simply no longer possess. We are grounded not by gravity but by narcissism. The engine stalls not because of friction, but because of fate. The engine did not fail. We failed the moral inspection. We asked the cosmos for infinite speed, and it handed us back the one resource we truly despised: time. That crushing duration, that multi-generational commitment, is the real warp drive. We don't deserve the stars. Look around. We prefer the comfortable cage of immediate gratification. We are the architects of our own oblivion, gazing up not at opportunity, but at the crushing silence that proves we were never ready to leave. The universe simply waited for us to admit it.